And just like that, it's Wednesday, halfway through the week. What the hell? Hey, here's a clue, gang. Never have a very quick shave just before you can do a broadcast because your face looks like you're embarrassed. What? Yeah, wearing a hat today. Woke up, my hair looks stupid. So, wearing my flat cap. Also, stand up, don't man up. Got sent these. I've got one for you, Neil. All I got to do is get my ass round to the post office, which ain't going to happen anytime soon because it's a mission. But I've got one for you. Still in its wrapper. Haven't even touched it. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him. You kind of love him. I love him. The king of New Malden. Neil.
Hello and good afternoon and welcome from sunny New Malden.
Is it sunny?
The home of the highest Korean population in Europe and the home of the man that you kind of love, Neil Long. Greetings and good afternoon. And we love you too, Russ. It's a big love fest here.
It's really, I'm not loving myself today here. Right, I'm going to try and let you carry on because I've got to send, somebody has not read their emails and I've got to do a whole, and they give me 2 minutes notice.
No problem.
One of our guests. So,
I'll do the hellos, and I've got something really interesting to talk about as well.
Well, I'll be the judge of that, Neil Long.
You can't be because you won't be listening because you'll be sending the link.
Come on if you're hard enough. Come on if you're hard enough. What are you looking at? See, I can wear the hat and say that because I look like a cab driver. I'm going south of the river this time of night, mate.
You look like a northern lab reading whippets.
Well, it's either that or that.
Right, put it back on, please.
Shut your face. Shut up. Or I could do
Hello, Julie Voice. Hey from Houston, where I'm feeling lightheaded after having 4 inches cut off my hair. Julie, I'm sure you look absolutely radiant if your profile picture is there.
You think she does?
Absolutely. And Stephen Smith, is that my hat? I doubt it, Stephen.
Is it? Who says that? Is that my hat? Shut up, Stephen Smith.
Now you look like Andy Cab.
Shut up. Stephen, I sent you the link to all of this to your pal, and she hasn't got the link. So could you do me a huge favor? Morning sunrise. What does that mean? It's not your hat. What does it say? Morning sunrise and showered. Why are you up so early? What you got to do? Over in New York. So good they named it. Well, they just named it. And I have no idea where she lives, but hello, Emma. Hi, Emma Webb. There we are.
Greetings and good afternoon.
Greetings and salutations. I'm going to try, and I'm going to have to disappear for a minute.
All right.
I'm going to leave you in the marvelously incapable hands of Mr. Neil Green Screen Long.
Hello. I attend this online thing, and it's kind of a group thing, and I don't know what you call it. I don't know if it's a healing meeting. I don't know if it's psychology. I'd probably prefer not to give it a name, but it's basically a Zoom call. And I was there last night, and you watch people on your screen of all over the world, rather like this, having breakthroughs and moving through things. And the guy who facilitates it does these incredible processes that can change people's mindset literally within a few seconds. It's subtle but powerful stuff. And what I would love to do, I shall run it by Russ, is do some of the teachings on here because it's really, really, really useful stuff. Because the only thing we can manage really is ourselves. But the good news is there's an awful lot more to us than the limited view that we might have of ourselves, I suppose is the best way of putting it. And when you do it in a group dynamic, everybody benefits and expands from all of it all the time at once from multitudinal locations. It really is quite, and I'm still quite hyped about it this morning. It was such a powerful session last night. I'm sitting there, wow, talking to all these people around the world. And of course, it's in alignment with what we do here because it's all about mental health. It's all about being happy, moving through stuff. The process he does to heal people from stuff in their past is so fast. I mean, nowadays, I know every ology's evolved, including psychology, but this fast, it's just incredible. It's bloody incredible. Stuff that could take years, months at the best, and years sometimes at worst. People are moving through it in seconds. And with a group dynamic, or minutes then, sometimes in seconds. And with a group dynamic, it amplifies the power of it even more. And I would love to bring some of these teachings to MRS, because it is all about mental health and well-being, and how we deserve mental health and well-being. I think it's this unworthiness virus is the worst idea that's been foisted on humanity. Elizabeth Green says, sounds like a landmark forum. I've never been to a landmark, Elizabeth, but I know a little bit about it. It's very in your face and confrontative landmark. This is not. This is a lot more elegant and a lot more subtle and a lot more gentle, I would say. It is not like a landmark. Landmark is face your issues now. And that doesn't really butter any parsnips for me, to be honest with you. I don't really fancy anything like that. But so no, it's not. And Emma Webb is in Portsmouth. I know Portsmouth well because I go to Hayling Island regularly, as all the best people do, Emma. What part of Portsmouth are you in? Are you near the Spinnaker Tower? I've never been up there.
Spinnaker Tower?
Yeah.
One can only dream. I'm so sorry I had to disappear. I'll tell you why I had to disappear, because for some reason or other, they didn't find the link. It's a bit boring crap.
Well, we've just done a short seminar on how to have the best sex ever.
It sounded best what?
The best sex ever. You missed it, mate. Sorry.
Oh, is that with yourself or with somebody else?
You'll have to go back and watch the recording, mate.
Oh, I can't. I've already done a show today. This is my second show. Right. Emma Webb. Right. Let's bring on Susanna Lovelace. Hello, Susanna. Can you hear us? And you're going to need to wear it. No, I'm not having this.
We have an
She
echo.
got sent all the instructions. I'm sorry. If people can't follow the very detailed instructions when you come on as a guest, very detailed, because otherwise we get echo, we get all sorts of stuff. What do you think? I love this T-shirt that we got sent. I've got to thank
Speak up, don't man up. I think that's great.
Isn't it fabulous?
I prefer that to it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah, I just find
I
that
quite like that.
I find that a bit American. It's okay.
It's allowed is my favourite one.
Is it? What's allowed? Well, that was your excuse in the magistrate's court, and it didn't go down well.
I've only ever been in court once. I've only ever been in court once, I'll have you know.
What was that for?
Speeding.
Crazy guy. But those Maseratis are hard to hold back.
It wasn't a Maserati. It was a speed camera. It was one of those places where it was a 70 zone.
Speed camera.
And it went to 40 really quickly, and they put it in the most sneaky place. And I forgot about it 3 mornings running.
It's got nothing to do with safety.
So my points were going up.
Anybody. It's only got to do with making money. You know that.
And then it got over 12, and I had to go to court, and I got banned for 6 months like a buffoon.
What?
Yeah, 6-month ban.
For what?
But that's my only time.
What were you doing? You were doing 12 miles an hour over, and you got a 6 month ban.
I was doing 70, and it was 70. Then it went to 40 and changed, and then they right at that change point they put the speed camera.
Okay.
I even told the judge I thought it was devious, and he smiled at me as he banned me for 6 months.
Anyway, yes, it is.
He wasn't like that. He wasn't like a Machiavellian villain. He was. Sort of proper gentleman.
Better for my pant. It's pant.
Probably votes Tory.
That season. So I think that it's Susanna Love is having all sorts of clearly having difficulties joining in. There we are. I hope you've got earphones in, Susanna, if you can hear us, because otherwise we're going to get echo and we can't have that on. No, she's gone completely. Right. There we are. This is working out well.
Okay. Elizabeth Green says, thank God I don't drive anymore. I got banned from Zipcar. What did you do to get banned from Zipcars, Elizabeth?
You haven't met Elizabeth Green. I'm not surprised. I'm surprised she hasn't been banned from New York.
I really want to hear this story. I mean, you have to work hard to be banned from Zipcars. It's like being banned from Wetherspoons.
Oh, don't talk to me about that. Let's try for the last time. Then I'm giving up because I'm in that kind of mood. Susanna Lovis, are you there? Susanna Lovis.
Hi, Russ. Yes, I'm here.
Marv.
In all your glory. Good afternoon,
in all
Susanna.
Her magnificence. In all her fabulousness. There we go. How are you doing? How are you?
Fine, thank you. Sorry, I struggled getting on the using the link.
I could see that, Susanna Lovis. I could see that. Well, you're a friend of Stephen Green.
Yes.
Ugly bastard. Ugly, unpleasant bastard. I've never liked him. And you'd hate
he's
him.
brilliant. No, I love
No, he's
Stephen.
ugly. He's ugly. He always looks a
Susanna, I
mess.
can only
He's
apologise for
never
the animal.
groomed. No, Susanna, you know him. He's never groomed. He never brushes his hair. He never looks smart.
No, well, he does a brilliant job, though. I'm full of admiration. When we do our jewellery shoots, he always does the hair beautifully. And
Yeah, but Susanna,
yeah.
Susanna, after the jewellery shoot, do you check all the merchandise is still there? He has got sticky bloody fingers.
I did see some quite nice stuff on eBay, which I bought for my girlfriend.
Yeah. Was it from S. Smith? Was it from S. Smith
Funnily
Jewelers
enough, yes, it
Limited?
was. That's amazing.
Who'd have thought?
You know, Susanna, I don't even know you, and I'm making up all this nonsense. I can
No.
apologise. It's Russ's
It's
fault.
Stephen Smith. You're entitled. You're perfectly entitled. Foisting
What
us
brings
through.
you to men's radio stations?
Yes, good question.
Well, I was hoping, thank you. I am Susanna Lovis, and my shop is in Burlington Arcade in Piccadilly. And I
love
was
Burlington Arcade. I love wandering up and down there aimlessly. It's gorgeous.
What's the
Good.
website? We'll pop it on the screen. We'll give you a shameless plug while you're here.
Oh, thank you. It's www.susannalovis.com.
Okay.
That makes sense.
And I was hoping to give your men listeners some advice about buying jewellery
But
for
do
their
bear in
partners.
mind, Susanna Lovis of No Fixed Abode, that 50% of our audience all over the world are women.
Okay, well, obviously we sell to women as well,
Oh,
but
good.
the reason when Stephen introduced me was he said that he thought there were some men that find it difficult to buy jewellery for their wives and partners, and that
Well, the trick is, Susanna,
they
not to
needed
get
some
the
advice.
same piece for your wife and your mistress, because that's when it all kicks off. I'll be honest with you.
Well, that's where I can help, Russ, because I
good,
can
thank
say,
God. Thank God you're
don't
here,
get
Susanna.
this.
I was worried. Christmas taking me so awkward. Oh,
What if you get the presents mixed up?
oh Jesus, yeah. I
Your
know.
wife gets the massive diamond necklace, and your
yeah.
girlfriend gets the little.
It's the dog.
It's like something out of Love, Actually.
I've got to tell you, Susanna, this is a true story. Right? This is a true story. A relative of mine who will remain completely nameless had a wife and a mistress. I love this guy. He's one of my favorite relatives. And he bought the girlfriend a fabulous necklace. It's a jewelry store, fabulous necklace. And the wife found the receipt going back many, many, many years. The wife found the receipt. Thought, wait a minute here, hold your horses, coachies. I haven't got a necklace like this, and so has bought a necklace. They go out for dinner, and sitting opposite her at the dinner table, Neil, is this woman wearing the necklace. Boom! That was the end of that.
Well, I hope she got rid of him immediately.
This guy still makes me laugh so much. And everyone's friends now. It's all lovely, but
That is awkward.
was
That is
hilarious.
awkward, to say the least.
not funny. Come on.
No, it is awkward.
Yeah.
And we have had a similar situation, actually, unfortunately. It was actually the electrician who was working in our shop, and he wanted some repairs done. And unfortunately, we phoned the wife and said that her repair was ready. And she said, well, actually, I haven't left a repair with you. So that was a bit awkward. Yeah. I mean, they got back together again, and it was all fine. Perhaps these things should be more above board.
Because he's an electrician. Is it his current wife?
Nice.
It's all right. He doesn't charge for jokes like that. Anyway,
that is good though.
Maybe Susanna, he was alternating girlfriends.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
think there
hope
was
you were
enough-
direct with him. Oh, come on. I'm here all week. I can keep going.
Do you think there was more of a spark between the girlfriend
Loving
and him?
you,
No, I think they
Susanna.
were shocked.
Loving you, yes.
So why are men so inept, not only at telling jokes, but
We're
at
not.
buying
Shut
jewellery,
up,
Susanna?
Neil.
And how can you
Oh
help
no.
us as
Okay.
buffoons?
Well, I can help you because a lot of men come in and buying a piece of jewelry it's really special to be bought a piece of jewelry because jewelry does last forever, and you always look back at it and think, oh yeah, that's what he bought me for this occasion, engagement, 10 years of being married, 40th
Yeah.
birthday, 30th birthday, whatever, 21st, and everyone has their own stories about things they've been given and in what circumstances. So they come in, they really don't know what they want, and their thoughts are all over the place. And I sort of think it's my job to funnel all these different thoughts into one stream and eventually ask lots of questions and find out about the wife or the girlfriend or partner and find out exactly what their tastes are, what colour gold they wear, what colour eyes they have. I even look at photos of them to see what I think would suit them.
Tricky questions.
Yeah, well, tricky questions
right.
wouldn't you know, Ross?
You're like, what colour
You see,
hair?
my
God, I
working
don't know.
definition, my working
Colour.
definition of the average
Yes.
man is well intended but oblivious. So questions like, what colour are your partner's eyes?
Well, that's quite an obvious one. And then you can suggest aquamarine ear studs if they're blue,
I was
or
gonna say
emeralds if they're green. Or so other questions we ask about what existing jewelry she has, what she likes to wear, what he bought her last year. If he's a regular customer, we do have a list of what they bought. So I can say, I suggest that, this year you went for a sapphire pendant, maybe matching earrings would be nice. Or, or something really special that she might not have thought of that goes with everything.
Look at this poor cow in the United States. I can say that because I know her. Elizabeth, been buying my own. Sad. You're just bloody sad, Elizabeth, to be honest with you. Right.
No, but buying your own is great as well.
Of course it is. It's allowed. We're in emancipated times, aren't we?
Yeah, no, lots of women buy their own jewelry, and lots of women come in and come up with a short list for their husband, which I suggest is quite a good idea as well. Because then the husband has a choice of what he knows
buy this
is going to be successful.
Yes, and it helps him out.
Buy this, you're going to have the shittiest Christmas on record.
Men are quite inept and stuff like that. When I've bought jewellery for people, I always say to them, if you don't like it, just be honest with me. I won't be offended. And we can change it for something else.
When they never call you again, Neil, is that the clue?
What?
When they never phone you again.
No, they phone
you
me.
Go, hello, it's Neil, and then you just hear the click. You think, I screwed up with my jewelry choice.
Happens to me all the time. Well, what a wonderful job, a wonderful vocation.
Bloody
yeah, it's nice.
By the way, Susanna, I got bad news for you.
What?
I got bad because I'm in town all the time because I'm always in and out of Soho and Piccadilly stuff like that.
That's near me.
I will be. No, I know this is the bad news. I'm going to come in and drive you mad. I'm not going to buy anything. No. I'm just going to come in and be annoying.
Okay, that'd be lovely.
Which is my role in life.
Brilliant.
What about men buying for the man in his life?
See no reason why not.
Precisely.
No. Well, we've got a really good selection for the men in his life. And we can, we've got long chains or nice rings. And because most of the jewelry is old designer jewelry. So from a lot of brands like Tiffany or Cartier or really well-known jewelers, which we sell at much reduced prices to the original designer prices. So you can get sort of old Cartier rings for men and women and anyone really.
So what are we looking? So Susanna, let's cut to the old chase here.
Okay.
What sort of say it's a Cartier ring, which is always lovely. What are we looking at? What are we looking at?
Well, anything from probably £600 to, and I think we got one for about 38,000 as well. But
right, put that one aside. Yeah, put it aside.
Okay, I will. It's got your name on it.
Yeah, because I want to get it for Neil I want to get it for Neil as a thank you. It's the least I can do.
So you should.
38K.
So maybe I'm going to tap you for a recommendation. My daughter. Shout out to my daughter Ashley. She loves green, and she loves swans. Got anything that could fit the bill?
I think I probably have actually. What about a? The thing is with green, you could only really, because most of the jewelry is gold and not enamel or anything. So maybe the green could be the eye in the swan, and it could be, a ring in the shape of a swan or a pet. What does she wear
She will wear
at the
the odd
moment?
ring. She'll wear neck
She's
chain
in
sometimes.
Canada. She's mostly wearing thick clothes.
She's
and
not in
boots
Canada.
and a hat.
She's in England.
Oh, she back?
Yeah,
When did that happen?
July.
Thanks for sharing.
Oh, that's good.
I
She can
did.
come and try it on then.
I don't think Elizabeth can answer this. Because, I'm sorry, I don't think Susanna can answer this. Elizabeth Green. How much is an old Cartier watch? Well, it depends on the condition. It depends which model. It depends on the
metal.
Depends on the whole thing, the provenance of it. So that's like saying how much is an old Ford Mustang? Well, what year are we looking at?
But if Elizabeth sends me pictures, I can tell her.
There you go. There we go.
So,
do you find yourself moving away from your stock list? Although I admire your blatant plugging, woman after my own heart. Do you find yourself as a little bit of a kind of therapist, psychiatrist? Because you got to delve into the psyche a little bit of the. I'm dressing it up, but it's kind of true.
Yes, you do, and it's amazing when a customer is in front of you what information they actually give you. And mostly it's
share things with you that they wouldn't share with just random people in their life. You're a bit like a hairdresser in that sense. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah, I think I am a bit like a hairdresser, except it's a bit more
classy.
People really couldn't. No, not well. Yeah, no, it depends.
Now
what
you've
hairdresser,
upset Stephen Smith. I'm going to get
I
emails.
don't want to upset you, Stephen.
Oh, I see what you mean. Sorry.
Time, mate.
Sorry, Stephen.
No, it's amazing what people tell you, and also the stories you get to hear. I mean, I'm making a ring for a chap at the moment who's proposing in New York at the weekend.
Elizabeth, stand by. Could be you.
Oh, I don't want to give away anything, Elizabeth.
Oh,
I hope
yes, it's someone you've never met wants to marry you.
And he only came in on Sunday, so I've had to pull this ring together very, very quickly for him. But I just think it's so romantic getting proposed to in New York. And I've got I did have, probably shouldn't talk about proposals that have gone wrong, but unfortunately sometimes they do. Very rarely. But I did have a chap who came in February and bought a beautiful ring, and he said that, and I always asked how long they've been together, and if they've been together more than 7 years, I'll give them my talk to men about men that won't commit, and say to them, well, I think it's time you started looking at engagement rings if they've come in for their 7th pair of earrings. And then anyway, this chap came in and bought a ring off me, which he was thrilled with, and he gave me all the story. He'd been traveling around South America with her for 6 months. They'd been together 5 years. He decided that she was the love of his life, and she was going to live with it. They were going to live together and be happy ever after forever.
Yeah, right.
And he bought this ring and proposed. And then, unfortunately, the following week, he said it didn't go down very well. By the time he'd walked back from buying the ring, she'd moved out of the flat. And
get out of town.
Yeah, just completely vanished. So obviously I said I'd give him a refund for that one. But
you're so,
it was very sad.
It's not really your week.
That's quite extreme.
You're not getting your money back. That's what I'd have said.
Well, he didn't even ask her in the end. So, but I said, of course, you can get her back. And
Susanna, can I give you the worst example of a proposal going horribly wrong? Neil and I used to work at Capital Radio, and for some reason they decided that I would tow banners in the Flying Eye. It was a pain in the ass, but we towed these banners, and it was a great idea, and it took weeks to arrange with this guy, and it was something like, Susanna, will you marry me? So we did this whole build-up on the breakfast show with Tarrant, and I'm slapping this sodding banner across the London skies, towing it. It's huge. Susanna, will you marry me? Love, Fred, or whatever it was. And we get Susan. She's working in a bank. We track it. It's all live on the radio. We track her down, right? Thinking this is going to be a great romantic moment for the breakfast show.
I can't
She
bear it.
runs and hides. It was like a nightmare come true for this poor woman who had no intention of marrying this guy. Meanwhile, we've spent a fortune towing the banner, built the whole show around it, and she won't come to the. Come to the
Well, you'd have
phone.
thought she'd have just
Come to
said
the
yes for the
phone.
show.
Won't even come to the phone.
Oh, that's so sad.
Well, we laughed.
But probably
It was
better
great
that he knows
entertainment, but
now.
it was horribly sad for him.
I
Yeah.
charged him for the banner.
One day I'll tell you how we used to have to pick. It was awful. The technology behind it hadn't changed since pre-World War One. Seriously, it was so scary to pick these things up. Anyway, give us another plug. Give us the address of your shop because everyone wants to pile in.
Okay,
No,
great. Well, it'd be
they wanna
lovely to
come
see
and
everyone.
You're lovely. We like you a lot.
Oh, good. I like you too, Russ
I don't blame
and
you.
Neil.
You know,
We're number 50 Burlington Arcade,
what do you?
and
Because I don't ever see the numbers. What's next door to you?
we've got Roger Perfumes.
Okay, I know what you mean. I know.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we're opposite a couple of watch shops as well. But we do watches ourselves, so you don't need to look anywhere
well, you
else.
tell me that now.
Yeah, we do.
Matt Hook, I'll be with you in a minute. Can see you. Hang on, Susanna. We've been chatting for like 25 minutes, right? I don't wear jewelry at all. I don't ever wear jewelry, right? Most I've got is a Fitbit. That's because I have a Fitbit, right? What you do watches? That's my
Yes.
weakness. That's my weakness.
Yes, well, I used to wear a Fitbit, but I don't think it looks very good anymore. They're just so ugly, aren't they? Whereas if you have a beautiful watch,
they're under my sleeve, frankly, who the hell cares?
yeah, but if you had a nice watch, you wouldn't wear it under your sleeve, Ross. You'd be showing it with pride.
Not in London, I wouldn't. Let me tell you something. I've got a small watch collection because I love watches. I wear because I'm always on the bus and the
You've
tube.
got a watch on your other fist. I can see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 30 quid off Amazon.
No.
Thank you very much. Because
Is
if I'm
it?
going to get mugged, they're not taking my Rolex or my Omega Speedmaster Professional. They can take my
No.
30 quid watch and
It
sod it.
looks quite good though, that watch, doesn't it?
Do you know what? It looks bloody marvellous and it keeps sensational time. So I wear two very cheap watches deliberately, which keep perfect time.
Yeah.
But I love classic old watches.
Yeah. Well, that's what
If
we
you
do.
ever get a Rolex date adjust.
Well, we've got them.
Oh, for God's sake! Right, I'm coming in.
We've got Rolexes from like 1930s in my shop.
I love
They're the really
those.
special
The
ones.
old
And-
stuff is just
Yeah.
fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Right.
Yeah. Well, so's the old jewelry as well. So
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It has a patina and a history. I'm with you on this.
yeah.
It
See, we
has-
don't polish our watches either because of the history and the patina
you want them to.
Yeah.
Oh, it's patina. You're right.
yeah.
I feel like a
Yeah.
fool now. I feel like a fool.
50
Susanna,
Burlington
good luck.
Arcade.
Good luck. You know where to
Hello.
go. Burlington Arcade. Ask for Susanna, and she will walk you through your jewelry buying nightmares and produce.
I will
a
help you.
dream.
Yes. Yes, I will. I'd be delighted to see anyone, anytime, and look forward to
And
it.
you just give the code Stephen Smith 10 and you get 50% off. I'm lying. Don't. All right. Just lying. Don't do that. Susanna, take
All right.
care. You're always
Thanks,
welcome
lovely
to
to
come
meet you
back.
both.
You're always welcome
Been lovely,
to come
Susanna.
back.
I'd
Thanks
love
for being
to.
on. All the best
Thanks,
to you.
Neil.
Great sport.
Okay.
What a
I
terrific
might
sport.
contact you about that swan thing.
Yes, do. And I'll see you
Worth you
soon
coming
for a
on.
cup of tea, Russ. Okay.
You're on. Bye. Oh, marvelous, isn't it? Marvelous. Right. Right. Shall we go? This is way more serious. I like to lighten it up a little bit of sauce and pepper. Hey, I've got to tell you before I bring on the next guest, I'm doing this intermittent fasting. I'm on the carnivore diet, right? I've decided to do it. Yeah. Can I hear you? No. You there?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm doing intermittent fasting and carnivore diet, etc., which I am loving. And yesterday I had a blip. I got a lot of issues going on at the moment, business stuff. And I stupidly broke my curfew with the carnivore diet, and I ate 2 biscuits. I'm carb free. I'm completely carb free, and I ate 2 biscuits this morning. Jeez, the difference. I'll talk about this diet one day, as and when. But let's bring on our next guest. Very interesting story, this. I think, Neil, that you're going to love this. I'm going to let you lead. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Hook. And where is he? That's interesting.
Oh, hello, Matt.
I can see him. Let's try it again. I can see him. I can see him moving.
He's moving as well.
There he
Hello,
is.
Matt.
Right, Matt, first thing, can you turn your phone landscape, please? We don't want a portrait picture. We want landscape. Can you turn it around the other way, please? Turn your phone the other... No,
is that good?
Matt, can you hear us? Right, that's better. There we go. This is going to lag. This is going to lag badly. If that's your internet, it ain't going to work.
Bear with me. Let me try go to a different...
Right, I'm going to take you off and you sort yourself out. Right.
So your body noticed the difference immediately, did it?
Boom, like that. And I'll tell you something else. When I was last in Tesco, man of the people, I bought myself a chili con carne, pre-prepared, which I never do. I never have pre-prepared food, ever. Always cook from scratch. Because I'm on the carnivore diet, so there's no sugar, there's no carbs at all. And it was like eating sugar. Chili con carne.
If you've been
I phoned a pal of mine. I said, this is like eating. You realize the revolting amount of sweet. It was horrible.
When you've been off sugar for a while and you have something with it in, it tastes way too sweet.
Disgusting.
And you can't believe that your body adapted to that.
Neil,
it's only when you've got
felt like my teeth were going to fall out.
Yeah, it's only when you've got something to compare it to, you go, oh my God, was I really, eating that much when you've got a comparative?
And I thought I was pretty good because I don't eat desserts, I don't eat sweets, and I don't eat any of that. I just don't like it particularly. I'm lucky. But eating this chili con carne, it was just like they got a bag of sugar. I'm sure they hadn't, but wow. Let's try again with Mr. Matt Hook.
Hey, Matt.
Hello.
How are you?
How you doing?
Is that better?
Yeah, way better, mate. Way better.
Right, good
right.
Stuff.
Welcome to the show. Tell us all about yourself and why you're here.
Right, so my name is Matt Hook, and I am a musician, someone coming back to just starting to make music again. And also, I sort of my backstory a little bit is that I run a men's 7-a-side football league, which the sort of story about that is it sort of helped me get through a bit of a tough time in life, and also sort of give me the, what should we say, confidence maybe to get back doing music, and yeah, just getting a bit of a sort of reinvigoration.
Now, Matt, are we allowed to ask, and please tell us to mind our own business, what was the tough part of your life? Only if you want to discuss it. If you don't, please don't.
No, it's fine. So I was, so as I say, I was a singer in a sort of local group in Sheffield, an indie band, from 2008 till about 2014, and we had a reasonably, decent following in the city. We played some of the bigger venues in the city. We had a few celebrity fans to a degree, and we'd have sort of press in international press even. So it was growing a bit. We had a bit of a following, and then that kind of fell apart. There was a bit of tension with that. A lot of things happened at the same time. So my dad, the main thing really, well, one of the main things was my dad got ill with brain cancer around that time. He then passed away.
So sorry.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, he passed away 5 years ago now. And then also I had I had a newborn daughter as well. I had a relationship split up with my daughter's mum, and then also I lost my job at the same time, and my brother got cancer as well around that time, but he survived. So
it is a testament to you.
At once, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a testament to you. You're still here.
I know.
The words of Elton John, you're still standing.
Yeah. Well, there was definitely. I mean, so I went through with a lot of that, I went through sort of, you know, psychologically a bit of a tough time also. So, but yeah.
Well, you would do. It's
Wow.
traumatic. I don't think I use that word inappropriately.
No.
You know,
no.
a big run of things, you know, of bad things happening at once like that can really knock you
It's
sideways.
it's so
And as Russ
hard.
says, it's so good to hear that you're back on your feet. How did you do it? Because I'm fascinated by people's journey back.
Right. So as I say, I mean, I was just, you know, for a while, I wasn't really going anywhere fast. I was just kind of drifting, doing odd little jobs, just not losing a bit of confidence, really, with you know, or even just, I don't know how to put it, just dating, you know, just. I felt
existing, existing.
I felt a bit like a ghost, really. I felt like I was kind of just
autopilot.
And so as far as the football thing, I mean, the one for like I'll say, sort of the one thing that I had to sort of focus on, really, because the music, that was my kind of dream, and I felt that, you know, that gone. It really took me a while to sort of process that. So the football, the one thing I was doing, I was playing a 6-a-side football team. I was running it. So it was just a, you know, a typical thing like you see loads of people doing, playing 5-a-side, 6-a-side, whatever. And it was just a team of mates, and we were playing, and it was sort of the one thing I was, I don't know, it was like a bit of a release, whatever. So from that, they were moving to a different premises, this league, and he moved to this new premises in Sheffield. That's where I'm from. And it was a new sort of university premises, and it was really nice. It was really good, but it was really quiet because it was new and not a lot of people knew about it. So we were playing there for a season or so, and he said to me, the bloke who ran it, he was like, you know, I'm going to have to move it back to the city centre, to a different place, because he relied on students who lived in the city centre to come and play, and he didn't think he could get the clientele. So I just looked at it and I thought, you know what, I really like the venue that we're at. And I thought to myself, in the back of my mind, I thought, well, maybe I can do like a league. Maybe I can get something going. And at that point, I was really just thinking, you know what, it'll just maybe get me a few quid, so I can actually just sort of have something to get me head into, and just get a bit of self-esteem, get moving about it a bit. So yeah, so I had a couple of teams already in his league. We then left the league. That league left. He moved back to the city centre. So I had 2 teams worth of mates, and then I thought, I can get another couple of teams of mates, I think. And I only needed maybe 6 to start the league. So I went round. I just got like flyers. Well, I mean, this is the thing. So I registered the league in one day. It was basically a 50-50 in the back of my mind for a couple of months. And then I woke up one day, and I wasn't in the best of place, really. But I thought, you know, I'll just go. I could have gone and made a cup of tea in that moment, but I decided to register the website, if that makes sense. So
good for you.
It was like that 50-50, you know, boom, right,
Yeah.
done it. And now
sliding doors.
Sliding
doors.
Yeah. So before, no, once you've registered a website, you know, then you get these little website builder, you know, you've registered this domain, so now build your 20-minute website, whatever. And all of a sudden I'm doing that. And then it's like, right, I better speak to the local FA and get it affiliated. And then it's, you know, getting reference. And it was just like, once I had that first step, everything else was almost sort of automatic, because you could just follow what needed to be done next. And I found myself walking around, you know, sort of various parts of Sheffield with these little flyers I'd made, trying to get anyone who'd listen to me to join this upcoming football league. And most you can imagine, most people were just not interested in the slightest. But I was really sort of, you know, just trying to get anyone's attention, just trying to put it out there, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And I actually had quite a funny little story. I'll just finish on this point. I had quite a little funny story when I went to a shopping centre. I went to a supermarket, and I was looking around for people to ask who could come and play in the league, you know, giving them flyers. And I started speaking to this fella, and I said to him, "Oh, you know, do you want to come and join this league? Did you play football?" And he looked really sheepish, like his face, he looked really uncomfortable. And he said, "I already play." I said, "Oh, who do you play? Like, where do you play?" And he said, I play centre back for Barnsley." So he couldn't come and join the league anyway.
Oh, right. Yes. Would you like to come and join my driving team? I want to drive. What's your name? Max Verstappen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, now, how are you feeling? So this has given you a purpose.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
given you, presumably, and jump in if I'm talking rubbish, say so, as per usual, but it's given you satisfaction.
Yeah, definitely.
It's given you a direction.
Yeah.
And the most important thing, even in the few minutes we've been chatting, or we've been listening to you, is obviously given you your confidence back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, completely. It's just, I think it sounds so obvious in a way, but like, you're all sort of, how can I put it? It was just when you went from where I sort of was, where I was singing regularly, I had fans, for want of a better word. There was a few.
That is the word. Don't be embarrassed. That is the word. They like
there's
your
loads
work.
of them. There's loads. I don't know where they've all gone, but there was loads. But
they're still out. The thing is, they're still out there.
But it's funny how quickly your circumstances, and with all the added sort of pressures on top, you can really you just sort of wonder, what it's all about really, and where, and your own sense of self. That's how I felt. So
yes,
just
I think
yes.
what if I'm reading it right, because it was not a dissimilar thing, in the sense that there was a lot of things happened at once. Maybe one I could have dealt with, but 2, 3, 4, all at once, and with no particular organization set up to give you support in any way, either emotional or practical. When we lose someone, I describe it as a learning curve at a time that you least need it. It's all this new stuff to learn, all this complicated law, all this legal stuff, all this financial, all this stuff that you may have only paid cursory attention to before. This was certainly the case for me. I don't know, maybe you're the same, I don't know. Suddenly you've got to learn it all. And in a mind that's grieving and in a low state, it's really, really hard to do. So it is baby steps, but I love your story, because it just shows, as I mentioned on the show the other day, there was another lady, and she's mentally healthy now, and it just shows that mental health is something that we can reclaim. Some argue that it's innate, but just we've all got it and it never went anywhere. It's rather like the sun being covered by the cloud, but it doesn't mean the sun's not there, if you like. And the light metaphor is quite good, because I would like
that's
little flashes,
really clever, Neil. I hadn't thought about that. It's
of
like when you're
light.
on a holiday flight,
Yeah.
or any flight, and you leave London, because I'm based in London, and it's gloomy and grey, and then the plane breaks through the cloud, and you think, well, this was here all the time.
And that light is always there. That's the point. So it's just a question of how we break through the clouds, and everyone's path is different. But to hear your testimony and to hear how you've done it, and what I was saying at the start of the show when Russ was off, just discussing it in an open forum like this, you make that possibility available for everybody else. If you can experience that, we all can. In a sense, the universe doesn't play favorites in that sense. You know what I mean? You contribute that possibility to everyone else, and in a collective thing like this, insight and knowledge and wisdom can and does expand. That's the magic of forums like this.
One of the most important.
Thank you for your story, and well done, mate. Because it's when you're in those doldrums. My greatest fear was that I would never find the light again, and I was there forever. And that was the most terrifying thing. It was like being behind the gates of Disneyland. All the fun and all the rides are there, but I'm forever barred. And what am I doing? Is it my thoughts?
Well, you are
is
barred from Disneyland, but we can't talk about
circumstances?
that. You are barred from Disneyland. We can't talk about it because your case hasn't come up yet. But I don't think you're going to get off this time.
Yeah, but Goofy loved it.
The reason I wanted you on the show, Matt, when you were kindly approached, is this. I have zero interest in football. I know nothing about football, and I never watch it. I've never played it.
Same.
And because of my awful experience in the music industry, which destroyed me, I have no interest in the music industry either. But the reason I really wanted you here, is this. It's irrelevant what you find, whether it's seven-a-side football, whether it's singing in a band, being in the music industry, whether it's cooking. Whether it's jewelry like we had with Susanna before you, it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, as Neil always puts it so beautifully with his way, is that when you're down in the absolute trench, you're in the Mariana Trench of, you're thinking, what the hell? if you have the will, you can get out of it. It's not easy. It's not simple. You will have setbacks. There is no prescribed time frame on this. But you are, this is what I love about the show and the guests we get on from all walks of life, all different people. There you are. The three horrible things that really laid you out, a triple whammy, and you found your way out of it. So it's a question of hope. And without hope, we have nothing. Hope is the most important thing.
But like the sun behind the clouds, the hope is always there. I've come to realize that for me, the problem was an awful lot to do. It wasn't so much what had happened. It was what I was thinking about what happened. And I was ruminating it over and over and over and over and over. And I was on this fascinating call last night, which I talked about at the beginning of the show. And they talked about you can sort of create your own emotional scale and chart your way up it. So you took a reading of where you were now, where you wanted to be, and then incremental steps up. You can't jump from depression to bliss, but you can go from depression to relief. And then you can go from relief to, I'm looking at it, curiosity, newness, exploration, playfulness. Yeah. And it's so that adopting these ways of being and coming from there is a lot easier than trying to fight your way somewhere. It's hard to have a happy ending to a difficult journey. And I think because these teachings aren't particularly common at the moment, but they are coming out more and more and more. We hear lots of stories of struggle, and I would like through forums like this to say to people, maybe the struggle, because we've all been taught to struggle. Struggle's noble, struggle's worthy.
Struggle is not noble.
It's not. It's not.
Like there's
Any
great
more than guilt
nobility
has
in
any value.
poverty. No, there's no nobility in it. Nobody wants to be in that situation.
You can't struggle your way to not struggle.
No, these are horrible.
You joy your way to joy. You don't struggle to joy. It's like trying to screw.
Do you know what these are, Neil?
What?
And I'd love to see what Matt thinks. These are bullshit medieval things. There's nobility in suffering. There's no nobility in suffering. It's crap. It's awful.
It's like trying to help ill people.
Horrible medieval stuff that I love.
It's like trying to help ill people by becoming ill yourself. It simply doesn't work. And this whole these memes that we've been fed, that there's nobility and struggle, that you have to suffer to be happy, it's not true. It really isn't true. And I think that can hold an awful lot of us back, because some people think when they're in the doldrums, oh, I did it, I deserve it, I'm just the kind of person that this happens to,
unless you're a paedophile or a
family,
police
and
killer.
it's a family
unless you're
thing,
a paedophile or you've murdered a serving police officer, no one deserves it. You don't deserve it at all.
So
one of the things I would like to say, and Matt has springboarded me into this, and one of the most important things I learned, and it changed my life, is don't look for a meaning. If you turn around and say, why me? You're lost. That is the route to literal madness. The question you should ask is, why not me? Because life is a random lottery.
I think George Bernard Shaw said that, didn't he, or something like that. It's a question of, and this might sound a bit kind of highfalutin, and I don't mean it to. If you say why me, then that's a victim mindset, and therefore you think you're a victim of circumstance. Taking action like you did, Matt, and doing things to make yourself happy, you became the creator of your circumstance rather than the victim of it. And another useful tool is reframing, which is seeing things through a different lens. What about a completely objective lens of just someone just watching it play out, a sort of third-party observer? When you're so in the forest, you can't see the wood for the trees, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
But don't look for logic in it. Matt's story is horrible, and it's an extreme example. Not one, not two, three things happened. Any of those things would send anybody into the depths, right? Anybody. But if you look for logic, you'll go nuts. I mean, literally, you will go mad. There's no logic to it. It just happens. It happens. It's a random lottery. And once you accept that it's not ordained, No one's looking down on Matt Hook and saying, I want you to suffer. It just happens. And once you accept that, then you start to be able to deal with the rest of your life rather than looking for answers, because you're asking questions for which there are no answers. They just don't exist. That's my view. That's my philosophy. And that's how I've survived. Matt, marvelous. So what are you up to these days? Are you going back to singing again at all?
Yeah,
Yes.
what's next? What's next for you?
Right. So yeah.
Do you have a web home where people can find your music? I can put it on the screen.
Yeah, the main thing is probably, I mean, I'm on YouTube and I'm on Spotify and stuff like that. It's just something, I think it's just Matt Hook. But where I interact the most with my music is Instagram, and it's musical Matt Hook with 1 T.
Yes, Matt is with one. If you're listening and not watching, Matt is spelled with 1 T.
Yeah.
Discounted version of Matt. Basically, that's what it is. Matt Light. That's
it.
So it's musical. I'm being an arse. Musical Matt.
That's the one.
Oh,
that's
wow.
it.
Well, okay. And that's on Instagram, is it?
That's Instagram. Yeah, that's where I sort of post most of my stuff. But you can kind of keep tabs on me there. So yeah, I'm just gonna record some more stuff. I've only recorded a couple of things like since I've got back into it. I've mainly done gigs. Gonna do some gigs.
Are you enjoying getting back into the gigs? Are you getting the old?
Yeah, do you know what? I take it a lot. I sort of look to it a lot differently now. When I was younger, I was doing it. I was in a band. We were trying to make something of it. We were trying to get our name, really make a career of it, almost whatever. Now I'm just kind of enjoying what I'm doing. I'm not under any kind of chasing the sort of stardom.
You're not putting yourself under.
Do you know
pressure.
I'm exactly the same with stand-up comedy. I got back into doing stand-up comedy, and the first time round, again, it was all about success, and it was that kind of driving success. That's all right in context for a bit, but eventually, sometimes we can just have our nose to the grindstone so much the enjoyment goes out of it, and then we start hitting for burnout. But going into it with, hey, I'm just going to do it because I enjoy it. You can relax about it a lot more.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're not so attached to the outcome, it doesn't matter that much either way, and just enjoy the process. In that mindset, better things tend to happen than this brutal kind of struggle.
Totally so.
Yeah,
totally. Couldn't agree with you more. Matt, wish you luck. Bizarrely,
can I just say, Matt, you're an absolute gem. You're an absolute testament to what's possible.
Yeah, you are. Well, I'm so glad you could find. So glad you could find time to come onto the Daily Show.
Mental health is something that affects.
If you've never been to Sheffield, by the way, whatever your image of it might be, you're wrong. They've spent billions on that city. It's terrific.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
Terrific place.
And thank you for being so open about it, because it really does.
Yeah, no worries.
It really does give hope to other people, and in fulfilling that possibility yourself, I really do believe it makes that possibility available for all of
Matt,
us. Anyone watching, even if you're just watching the replay. So thank you, Matt. Brilliant.
My new initiative is, I'm going to say to all our guests, we've had you repay the compliment and just say it on your social media and just give us a mention. At Men's Radio STN. At Men's Radio STN. That is us. Matt Hook, you take care.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Bravo for what
just before you go, Matt, if you send me some of your stuff, I'll put it in front of my boss and see if it's suitable for a bit of radio play. I can't guarantee what he'll say, but I can certainly put it in front of him.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, gents.
Bye, Matt. Bye. Nice chap. Nice chap. Right, Michael Verby in southern Spain. He went down for a week to see his sister. He never bothered to come back. He's been there for about 3 years now. Would you like to read this out? There's something wrong with my throat today. I don't want this.
You say you have no interest in football, Russ, but I believe you do have a soft spot for the mighty Spurs. Unfortunately, supporting Spurs does not lend itself to good mental health.
Very good. Very good. Very, very good indeed. I like that. So,
hey, do you know who's got a new Christmas song coming out?
Is it Pat
Possible
Sharp?
Contender for the Christmas #1.
Pat and Mick. I don't know who.
No, Basil Brush.
Oh my God.
And not only Basil Brush, Mr. Blobby on the same record.
Double God. I did Panto, right, with Mr. Blobby. It was, 1 year it would be Sooty one. These were huge shows. Sooty or Postman Pat or Mr. Blobby or some nonsense. And So they reach out to the Mr. Blobby people. This is the great Paul Elliott who produced all the huge pants. I mean, each one's making about 1 mil, 1.2 mil at box office. These are gigantic shows. Right? I was very lucky to be there for 9 years.
I remember
And
the poster. I remember you on the posters.
and they said, could you send us a script, please? We need script approval. And he wrote back. He said, for the love of God, it's a man in a rubber suit. What do you need to see the script for?
All he ever said was blobby, blobby, blobby. I mean, you don't need much of a script for that.
I mean, I can't remember if it was in. I mean, it was just crammed in. It was like crowbarred in, you know. So when it was Postman Pat, you know, it'd be, I don't know, Cinderella. You go, oh, hang on, here's Postman Pat with the invitation to the ball. Yeah, we always remember that from the fairy. I mean, it was just crap.
And
it
I
was very
must
popular.
point out that Mr. Blobby was Christmas #1 in 1993.
Jesus. And do you know the clever thing? Despite that it was a BBC show, Noel Edmonds, who's bloody marvellous, been trying to get him on, a very interesting, a very complicated man, Noel, but I've known him a long time. He owns it. So it was a BBC property and he owned it. Like House Party, which I was on once, he owned the property rights of it. So he then did corporate shows using the whole of the set and the whole of the notion of Noel's House Party as a corporate show. I did it with Cara once.
Brilliant.
Huge.
I'm just looking up this song. Here we go. In fact, it gets even better. It's for the Save the Children charity and the Shooting Star Chase Children's Hospice.
All right. Oh, we like them. We like them.
Okay. It's Basil Brush featuring Mr. Blobby, the cast of Rainbow, and more. That's Rainbow as in Zippy and George, not Rainbow the rock band.
No.
It's called Boom Boom, It's Christmas Again. Muffin the Mule is on there and Santa Claus as well.
I thought Muffin the Mule had been banned under the Sexual Offences Act.
It was just
work your own
night,
joke. The jokes are there. You just got to work them out sometimes. Muffin the Mule, even that was the very first thing I ever watched as a tiny child on TV. That's how old Muffin the Mule is. Don't tell me it's come back. Can't believe
back on this
that.
charity record.
Wow. Yeah, I'm a big Basil Brush. I'm joking aside, I loved Basil Brush. I thought Basil Brush was bloody marvellous. And you know, I'm pals with Bobby Crush. I've known Bobby Crush for 4 years, right? Bobby.
I saw him on stage with Russ Abbott. He called him Crusher.
Bobby Crush is, forget all the nonsense, he's stupid talented, and his shows are great, right? And always sell out. And you know how he made his most money? In the shortest space of time? In 24 hours, he made more money than he'd made in decades. He wrote Orville, I think I could fly right up to the sky. It was Bobby Crush wrote that. You can't. Well, there's other.
I remember the Keith Harrison Orville song.
Yes, Bobby Crush wrote that. It took him about 5 minutes, and he's made more of the revenue of that silly song. Amazing, isn't it?
That's brilliant.
Don't even know, Bobby. Who would have ever thought? Elizabeth Green, why can't I get you on Facebook today? Because
I can answer that. I'll talk to you off air about it, Russ.
Yeah, there's problems with. We've got who knows? They keep changing and dropping and changing. It's nothing to do with us. It's to do with, unfortunately, the Facebook. It's the StreamYard algorithm. Who the hell knows? I don't know. Don't care. Can't do that. So that's almost it for this week with you, Neil Longy Long. Stand-up comedy. When am I coming on to do a show with you?
We need to talk to Graham and Elaine from the whole.
Well, you keep saying that. I'm, I haven't got many years left, so let's.
Do you know, literally, while this show was on, Graham was at my front door, and I'm not joking.
God, not selling bloody Lucky Heather again, was he?
Yeah, we get that set up, and we're talking about the other things. And we talk about the other thing, doing a big roadshow on mental health as well. So lots of.
We are, Neil and I, next year, just so that you know, it's only in the embryonic, planning stages, but we're going to roll this out because we want to meet you. We want you face to face. And we did a test run with a great Luther Blissett, and it worked a bloody treat. So we're going to do that. That is it, gang.
It's important. It matters. It really, really matters.
And we want to do it. It's
I'll leave you with one thought. I'll leave you with one thought. And if this sermon was preached in churches, it'd be the best sermon and everyone would be back in church. 2 rules for life. Don't do what drains you. Do what energizes you. End of.
It's almost like your dino rod. You're an emotional dino rod. You can have that for nothing. You can have that for
I'll
nothing.
stick that up my fundament. Thank you very much.
You are the Charlie Mullins of New Malt. I'm in a very odd mood. Okay, gang.
Come and give him away. My producer, Mr. E, quick wave.
Oh,
Can you
God.
go?
We've already gone.
Bye,
No,
everybody. See you,
Bye.
gang. Bye.